Crawford? My name is Jesse Keyes. My father's name is Russell Keyes. He was a pilot over in Germany in the Second World War. He and I have both had encounters with unidentified flying objects. We've both been inside them. They've come for us. They've taken us. And they're going to come for us again.
Get in the car.
Yes, sir.
You know in cartoons, the way someone can run off a cliff and they're fine, they don't fall until they look down. My mom always said that was the secret of life. Never look down. But it's more than that. It's not just about not looking. It's about not ever realizing that you're in the middle of the air and you don't know how to fly.
Whatever they did to me, killed all the members of my crew. I don't know why it didn't kill me. I tried to run from it, but then they started taking Jesse. They seem more interested in him now than in me.
You're talking about the tumors.
They are not tumors. They are something that they put in our heads.
Possibly. And it's a shame we can't take a closer look. The doctors tell me they're lodged in an operable spot.
Someone put him in, someone ought to be able to take him out.
Well, we can take him out, son. It would kill you. You have a very brave son. Be willing to go head-on at danger, to fly blind. You should be proud of him.
It's not like they left us much of a choice.
Still, you're a very brave young man. A little foolish, very brave. You go right at a thing. The initiative, for example, with which you found me. We are, for reasons I'm sure you both can imagine, a highly sensitive and secret group. People are as worked up as they are right now over a couple of Russian missiles at Cuba. Imagine how they'd react to a sky full of flying saucers. And so we have officers out in the field. Their cover is as regular military officers, but their real job is to screen the stories that come to us. You know, separate the wheat from the chaff.
You mean Lieutenant Wiley works for you?
Wiley? Yes, he's one of ours. Your son did the right thing by coming to us. We can help you. What'd you make of this?
You are familiar with the work Dr. Watson and Crick are doing now, for which they won the Nobel Prize?
Yeah, genetics, yeah.
Yeah, that's what this is about. Traits that run in families. Our friends are looking for something. In the Keyes family, they have found at least some part of whatever it is they're looking for.
And the tumors?
Perhaps it is some unfortunate byproduct of being taken into an alien environment. Or perhaps it is something that's put there for a purpose. It could be, for example, something as simple as a tracking device that allows them to know where the test subjects that are most important to them are.
We should find out more.
Definitely.
Where are Erickson and Bowen? Any word?
I haven't been able to ascertain that, sir.
You don't have much of a future, son. Anyone ever tell you that? Captain, what's happening here?
Just been put on DEFCON 2, sir. We're preparing for attack.
I knew that Ivy League idiot Kennedy was going to cause trouble. I would have bet you dollars to donuts.
You feel good now? Are you rested? Well fed?
Never better.
You want to tell me why you were sitting in the middle of nowhere staring off into space?
We were looking for the Northern Lights.
You can't see the Northern Lights this time of year.
We were misinformed.
What the hell's going on here?
You know about Cuba?
Is that why you guys are up here?
I didn't say that. You ever play football?
Sure.
You send your man deep, defense moves to cover him, hole opens up, you just walk right on through.
You think the Russians are coming through the back door here? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I'm not saying a thing. Just asking if you ever played football.
None of this explains what the two of you were doing, staring out your windshield at nothing.
Nope. It doesn't, does it? You all right?
What did that kid do to us?
I think we got a little taste of why Colonel Crawford was so afraid of him.
Jacob's in the back seat. We were followed. Jacob stopped them.
Jacob did? Is he all right?
Oh, he's in a lot better shape than they are.
Jake? Hi.
He's a very special boy. Take care of him.
Hey, Jake.
Before you know he's in line. Is that right?
You've seen them, haven't you?
Mr. Keyes, should you be up and around?
I saw it in your eyes. You've seen them.
Can I fix you a drink?
I'm here to make sure you don't hurt my son.
Hurt your son?
You want the things they put in our heads. You can have mine. Take it out, do whatever you have to do. But it ends there, and I want your word. You'll never do anything to my son.
Yes. I've seen them. I would think you'd be more concerned with what they might do to Jesse than with anything that could happen because of us.
I don't know how to stop them.
Yeah, but you think I need stopping. And you think you can do that, Mr. Keyes. We would never do anything to harm a private citizen. We would never do anything to a citizen against his will. I personally would never do anything to harm a child. How old is Jesse?
16.
Okay, a young man.
Do we have a deal?
In the war, you enlisted in the Air Corps, am I right? Thank you for volunteering to help your country again.
Yeah, I'm all right. Mom, I'm with Dad. He didn't take me, Mom. I went to see him. It was my idea. I don't know when I'll be back. Mom, I love you. I'll be all right. Gotta go.
Got too much trust for people, kid. That's your problem.
That's the boy. I saw the lieutenant here give him specific figures, numbers, types of planes, payloads. At the time, I didn't realize what they were doing, but when the DEFCON order came through...
You tricked me. You're supposed to help us. You tricked me.
Kind of young to be a spy.
A spy? What the hell are you talking about? You were supposed to help me and my father. What about the flying saucers? What about the UFOs?
Must be hopped up on something. Give him the nerve to do what he tried to do. I just pray to God he didn't manage to deliver his information.
I'll notify the Pentagon. Let them know we may have a breach.
Where's my father? I want to see my father!
You look at three things on the commodities page. Like the price of poultry, cottonseed oil, and tin. This is what I did, and all three of them are stable.
And this is how you tell there isn't going to be a war?
Now, what do they serve you in the army? Chicken. Where's that chicken come out of? A tin can. Where's that chicken sitting in? Cottonseed oil.
Yeah. So in a war situation, you have more soldiers
eating more canned chicken. My point exactly.
No, it doesn't wash.
Of course it washes. What the hell, it doesn't wash?
No, this is the nuclear age. They drop a bomb. Nobody's eating anything. End of story. What do you think? Is this a nuclear age or what?
Where's Colonel Crawford? Why isn't he here?
I don't know what Colonel Crawford. Think this thing will go all night? Because we're still here in daylight. There's a sweet little Studebaker over there I wouldn't mind taking a look at.
Good evening, Mr. Keyes. I want to thank you for letting us take a closer look at that tumor of yours.
Where's Crawford?
Colonel Crawford has an entire operation to oversee. He's left this particular phase of it in my capable hands.
Well, I don't do anything until I talk to Crawford. I need to know that my son is safe.
I might be mistaken, but it does not appear to me that you are in a position here to make demands. Prayer, baby.
Doctor, he's seizing.
Bring on cottonseed oil. Cottonseed oil.
Retractor now.
Cottonseed oil.
What's going on here?
Cottonseed oil. This is cottonseed oil. I want a puppy for Christmas.
Tom? Becky? And you must be Jacob. Jake's a little tired. Come in. Come in. We've been waiting for you ever since Dr. Greenspan got in touch with us.
They seem like really nice people.
We wish you could just come home with us, Jake.
Do you still do card tricks?
No. Kind of gave that up after we made you disappear. You gonna be all right?
I just need some rest. I'll be fine.
Listen. Try not to do anything. We don't want any stories getting out about you.
You don't have to worry about that. I can't do that stuff anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, I guess it's kind of like a battery that runs out of charge. I knew I didn't have much left, but those men were going to hurt Dr. Greenspan. I couldn't let that happen.
You take care, Jake.
You too.
We can start with where the hell were you and work our way out from there.
You told us to bring you a smoking gun. We were following a lead. A school teacher in Montana claimed she'd been taken.
And?
Dead end. We Just another lonely lady looking for a little attention.
I hope you're able to give her some.
Well, there were a few stories up there. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting back up there to take another look around.
I'm sure you wouldn't. Oh, we had an interesting time of it while you were gone. There's a classified report you both should take a look at. Alle Erinnerungen kommen auf einmal. Alle Erinnerungen, alle Ängste. All your memories play at once. All your memories and all your fears. Howard, you stay for a moment? Need your help with something at home. It's a personal thing. Something going on with Marty?
How do you mean?
He feels to me like someone about to try an end run. Keep an eye on him. I rely on you completely. You're my eyes and ears out there, Howard.
Yes, sir.
What happened? Russian shot down one of our U-2s. Bad time to be a spy, kid. Time of war, they shoot you.
What's this?
Bomb shelter.
Why?
Like they're gonna tell me.
Hey, did you hear about Henderson and Slide? They're escorting a patient from the hospital, some sort of secret surgery. Something went wrong. Big explosion, everyone's dead.
The patient from the hospital, do you know his name?
What's I talking to you?
Do you know the name of the man they were transporting? Who was he?
I don't know his name. Whoever he was, he's dead.
The world is made up of the big things that happen and the small ones. And the part that's so unfair is that we call them big and small. Because when something happens to you, when you lose something or someone that you really care about, that's all there is. The world may be blowing up around you, but you don't care about that. You don't care about that at all.
What are you looking for? Evidence. What do you mean?
Sam, you're your father's favorite, you know that? You always were. I hope it doesn't ruin your life. That's it. His favorite, your birthday. 7/28/51.
What is it?
Part of your inheritance. Your mother and I need to talk. Come on, out. Out, come on.
My father told me about this. It's from that spaceship.
What do you mean? What spaceship?
The one you and Daddy found up at Pine Lodge. He said you used this to take the project away from him. You know, it broke his heart when he lost the program. I think that's what killed him.
Your father had a drinking problem, Anne. He imagined things. What killed him was cirrhosis of the liver. You know that. I'm an intelligence officer, Anne. I have never had anything to do with any kind of spaceship.
You're lying. You're a liar.
What you're holding is a piece of an experimental plane the Air Force is working on. I thought I'd get it mounted for Sam. He seems to like that sort of thing. God. Anne, I'm so sorry. I'm so single-minded in my work. I don't give you enough. You or the boys. You remember the first time I took you riding? You almost fell off. I want it to be like that again for us. It's the most important thing in the world to me, Anne. Please forgive me. And please say you'll give me one more chance, okay? Anne. Anne, we need to do something about the pills and the liquor. You know that. Can't go on like this. There's a place in Oregon. It's very comfortable and very discreet. It's a 6-week program, and I made some calls. You can leave tonight. Okay? It's best for the boys. And we'll all be here waiting for you when you get back. Okay? I'm sorry. Howard, thanks for coming. You can understand I wanted to keep this, close. I truly appreciate you doing this for me and for my family.
Well, I'm happy to help out, Colonel.
And, slow and easy on the curves. My wife's in a delicate state, okay? Anne, Howard's here.
Ma'am? I'll take that, sir.
You tell the boys I love them?
Yes, I'll tell them. And I'll tell them we're going to be just fine. And when you come home, we'll go riding again, okay?
Okay.
See you soon, okay?
Okay. Bye.
In a climax to what many see as the biggest threat since the bombing of Pearl Harbor, the Soviets have agreed to remove their missiles in Cuba if the United States promises not to invade the island. This brings to an end.
Well, I guess we came pretty close to blowing in the dark.
Recent memory. President Kennedy characterized Premier Khrushchev's backing down as, quote, an important and instructive custom. Secretary of State Musk, however,
in that kind of hurry.
not close over the Soviets'
I don't know where he's going so fast.
that the crisis may not be over yet.
Trailer, here's some music.
Said,
Yeah, I think so.
Me too. No, not at all. That's what we've got.
Get lit.
I think that's not too bad. What the hell is that? Colonel.
You probably won't believe me, sweetheart, but I'm really sorry about this.
And there's 2 white horses following me. I got 2 white horses following me, waiting on my background. Did you ever hear that coughing sound? Did you?
I have some terrible news. Sometimes grown-ups, married grown-ups, get the idea that they don't want to be married anymore. And they start to see other people. Something like that has happened with your mother. Do you remember Captain Bowen who worked for me?
Howard, sure.
He and your mother have been seeing each other. Apparently last night they decided to go away together. They were in Howard's car going up over the Sierras, and police don't know exactly how it happened. It looks as if your mother changed her mind about leaving us. And Howard tried to stop her. And look, sometimes when grown-ups care about something, things can get a little confused. She's gone, boy. I'm so sorry. She's gone. She's gone. She was the sun and the moon to me. I'm so sorry.
I have this idea about why people do the terrible things they do. Same reason little kids push each other on the schoolyard. If you're the one doing the pushing, then you're not going to be the one who gets pushed. If you're the monster, then nothing will be waiting in the shadows to jump out at you. It's pretty simple, really. People do the terrible things they do because they're scared.
That's all we found in the wreckage. Bodies in this film.
Russell Keyes' body?
Missing the piece of skull the surgeon cut out, yes.
Any sign of the thing that they put in his head?
Well, the forensics people tell me there was a tiny hole in Russell Keyes' frontal lobe where this thing could have been lodged, but no. It must have been destroyed in the fire.
After first doing this to a room full of people. You're probably wondering why I wasn't in that room. Over the years, Marty, I've found that I have a good gut. A little twinge that tells me when I might do better to be cautious. One of the luxuries of being in charge, you get a twinge like that, you can have other people take your risks. Marty, I appreciate your loyalty in all this. I'm not going to forget you. And now that Howard's gone, you're going to be in a position of greater and greater responsibility. I hope you're up to the challenge.
Yes, sir.
What was he looking for in Montana? What did he think that he could find there that he could use against me?
He thought that Jacob Clark was still alive.
Was he?
No. Are you going to show this film to the president?
No. No, I don't think so. Now that he saved the world, the son of a bitch is going to be even more insufferable.
You really think he'll shut us down?
Or make us pencil pushers.
So what do we do?
We just bide our time. Keep the other one on ice.
Jesse Keyes.
Yeah, the doctors tell me the thing in his head is identical to the one in his father's. We just bide our time and keep him on ice. That pretty boy won't be president forever.
He's told these were your old man's.
We're all standing on the edge of a cliff all the time, every day. A cliff we're all going over. Our choice isn't about that. Our choice is about whether we want to go kicking and screaming, or whether we might want to open our eyes and our hearts to what happens once we start to fall.
Previously on Taken.
Flying saucers. My father and I have both seen them. We've both been inside them.
Your daddy's big, important secret job is to figure out if we're being attacked by
You're
Martians.
drunk, Ann. You shouldn't take the car out when you're drunk.
Owen Crawford. This guy broke her heart. My life is not going to be complete until I ruin his.
I need proof that there's a clear and present danger. I need a smoking gun, gentlemen.
My father's in your hospital. Doctor says it's a tumor they can't operate on.
Exactly the same size, in exactly the same place.
I have an identical tumor in my own head.
What are the odds?
It could be, for example, something as simple as a tracking device that allows them to know where the test subjects that are most important to them are.
You can have mine.
We would never do anything to harm a private citizen. We would never do anything to a citizen against his will. I personally would never do anything to harm a child.
Where's my father? I want to see my father!
Thank you for volunteering to help your country again.
What makes us human? That we can think? That we can feel sorrow and pain? Maybe. That we can laugh? I hope so. We can hurt and we can laugh, and we know a past and a present, and in some ways, a future. Maybe what makes us human is that we know just enough to think we know where we're going.
Wow. This could be big. We get these reports 2-3 times a week. Mutilated cattle, dancing lights, the sort of thing we're about to take a look at.
But for you to come personally here, you must have some reason.
The reports look good. First one came in from a local pilot out of Gary, then a commercial airline en route to Chicago.
This could finally be your proof, Dad. What I mean is that this could finally show that the threat is real.
We already know that, don't we?
Don't try so hard, kid. Just do a good job. Your old man will come around.
Keep these people back! Come back!
Come back, folks.
The reports are all good, boss. This is real. It's a landing strip, boss. Stake my career on it. Yes, you can tell that to the president. And you can tell him that I believe it signals that our friends will soon be here in force. I really think you should look at this personally. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. The president's on his way.
That's great news.
Why don't you, go help out with crowd control or something?
Colonel Crawford, Toby Woodruff. This is Ted Olson. Where's the president? Mr. Olson here is with the NSA. I'm with defense. The president felt you'd be better off dealing with the hands-on guys.
The hands-on guys. You've been briefed? Let's go for a little ride and we'll see how you feel.
Look at that.
This has happened before, here and in France, England and Germany. But the scale of this, the intent. Look at the formation, it's like a runway.
Like a landing strip? If it's a landing strip, that means that they could be landing.
You think Nixon stands a chance at a second term?
My opinion? You have to fix the next election. No one likes a little creep. Truman was president when I started this project. I've survived 4 of them. Nixon will make 5. I've lasted this long because I know how to ruin the people who get in my way. Now what I want one of you puppies to do is to get on the phone and make the president know that he has to be here immediately. That this is a threat to our country of unparalleled proportions. You do that for me, because long after Richard Nixon is just a faded memory, I'll be around to make your lives a living hell.
Looks like there's another one over here.
Dr. Powell, we've got something.
Very nice, Buzz. It's in remarkable condition. Where'd you find it?
North 6, West 12.
That's where we found the drums, right?
And there's more.
Well, let's go check it out.
Do you think we could be onto a smoke hut? Something the shaman used to drive out evil spirits?
Yeah, possibly.
Sarah's back on the demons again, Dr. Powell.
That's why we came out here in the first place, isn't it? Rumors of demons in the woods, the places that the Russian settlers wouldn't go, places that people still won't go.
Well, yeah, that and 80 years of research into the Chim Chim people.
Dr. Powell.
Yeah, what's up, Daryl?
found something.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a smoke hut, Sarah. It looks to me more like a funeral potlatch. The drums, the bowls, the raven to take the spirit into the next world.
We're all dead. First there's the demons, then we open up a tomb with hosts. Remind me, Dr. Kyle, what were these demons supposed to be doing?
Well, Buzz, they're a native version of the legend of the incubus and the succubus. They would take people from their homes, take them to the work, and sometimes a woman would come back pregnant.
Sometimes they don't come back at all.
Daryl, you okay?
I'm hurt, man.
Buzz, grab a ladder. How you doing, buddy?
I landed bad. I twisted my ankle.
It's all right. We'll get you out. Don't worry.
Yes. "23 years.
What are you going to do?
Learn to fly fish.
For what it's worth, I think you got a raw deal.
I tell my doctor I'm worried about my heart, my blood pressure. Tells me to take these pills and to go fly fishing. Apparently there's something soothing about catching a fish on a hook, looking at them, then letting them go.
What about Jesse Keys?
My smoking gun. A 16-year-old boy with something put in his head by our friends. You and I both know we're never going to find him. Disappeared from that bomb shelter and fell off the planet. Something, Marty. I've never really known what our friends were up to. Not a clue. Roswell taking all these people. But the way they took Jesse Keys. Whatever they're doing, we don't stand a damn chance against them. Is there something else?
Just wondering where to put the desk. I guess they didn't want to go outside the project. They put me in charge.
Great. And you can look for Jesse Keys.
I asked my dad once about his dad, my grandfather. I knew he'd had some hard times, but I didn't know a lot more than that. I said to my dad, I guess maybe he was kind of lost. Not lost, really, my dad said. But for a while, he was definitely bewildered.
I hope they get home alright. Hey, Mr. Spaceman, won't you please take me along? I won't do anything wrong. Hey, Mr. Spaceman.
Okay, what's the weirdest thing you ever saw? Unanswered trips don't count. I saw this two-headed snake once at the zoo in San Diego. And one time, man, I think I saw a flying saucer.
I've been on a flying saucer more than once. One time I saw my father. Been dead 4 days.
Okay, my man.
Now that is really and truly weird. Waste of friggin' time and money going to the moon. You know what I always admired about you back when we were over there? I was in 4 different units while I was in NAM, and you were the only one.
What do you mean, only one?
Officer who walked point. Every single mission, you walked point. At first, I thought it was just because you was crazy. But then maybe because you were the best guy in the whole world. Or maybe because you'd seen something that was something other than that ring of hell that we were in.
It was because I was the best guy in the world.
See now, me? Now I believe in everything. You tell me there's aliens or that you've gone for a ride on a saucer. Sure, why not? You tell me they killed the Kennedys or started the war, and I am with you 100%. But what I'm sorry to hear is that your experience was so bad that you could do what we did without even flinching.
I don't know what my experience was. All I know is my whole life was like that. Walking point through a jungle, waiting for something that I can't stop to happen to me.
No disrespect, but how does that make you any different than anybody else?
How's my credit?
Sorry, but there's nothing I can do in that regard.
Willie, I saved your life. Come on.
2 times. Now I'm gonna save yours. Get straight.
I don't want to get straight, Willie. I want to get high.
I know you want to get taken to that other world. Well, that costs money.
Oh, I'm good for it.
You're not good for nothing. Same as every other junkie I do business with. No, that is why I am strictly cash and carry. Get straight. And I'd be happy never to see your face ever again. If you get some money, then I'd be happy to accommodate you.
We're expecting a telegram.
From Los Angeles, California? Tell me again, doesn't make get here any quicker.
You're the people that are digging in the woods, aren't you?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Well, do you know about the Indians that used to live out here?
A little bit.
We're trying to find out more about them.
5 even. Gonna be getting the hell out of there anytime soon? Why are people so hostile? We're not doing anything. You got a home with a backyard? I have a backyard, yeah. Go outside. People digging potholes all over the yard. Maybe digging up things that are better left buried. How are you gonna feel about it? Oh. Thanks.
Got into trouble shortly after 10 o'clock Eastern Time last night. Something happened which cut off the power and oxygen supply in the command ship. At midnight, the astronauts were told to use the moon landing ship. At 3:42 a.m., they were ordered to make the critical firing to put the mission in an orbit.
You think this was an accident?
Get back to Earth. That firing was a
If I had to
success,
weigh our
but it
friends'
must be,
propensity
the
to
men were
interfere
carried
against
in
NASA's
space.
growing incompetence,
Minutes before the malfunction
I think I'd have to go with
discovered,
NASA.
The astronauts made their last television broadcast to Earth.
Last night, shortly after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the crew aboard Apollo
What?
13 sent a message to Mission Control in Houston.
If you were still in charge, you would have used this as further proof of that imminent invasion.
Transmission from inside the craft.
Probably.
Unidentified source has crippled the main power supply. The hypothesis from Houston at this point is that it may have been caused by a collision with a meteoroid or an explosion on board the craft.
Sam!
Hey, Dad.
What a surprise.
What the hell are you doing here? Dad said he lost his job.
Right, like you care about that. What do you want, Sam?
How's Julie?
She's pregnant. What do you want?
Pregnant? Well, congratulations.
You just came home to gloat, didn't you? You came home because he lost the organization.
You still think he's some sort of a god, don't you? I mean, he craps on you for 21 years, and you just keep coming back for more.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about lies, Eric. I'm talking about this. A guy named Tom Clark says he devoted his life to exposing the government UFO hoax. You know, people see something strange in the sky, and the government makes them think it's a UFO, not some secret plane. People are taken from their homes in the middle of the night and filled full of mind-altering drugs. It must have been cosmic visitors, because it sure as hell wasn't our government testing out some new chemical weapon. I mean, is that our legacy, Eric? Is that what he's been doing all these years, covering for these creeps?
What creeps? Tom Clark, I should have known.
You know him?
Our paths have crossed. I spent a lifetime building my organization. With one prank, he took it away from me.
It wasn't the prank. It's the times. Nobody cares about the science fiction stuff, Dad. We've got real monsters on this planet running this country, killing innocent people.
All right, son. There were no monsters in my generation. No killing. You're my son. This is your inheritance, he told me.
I don't want any part of that.
Then why did you come home?
I was just asking him the same question.
If you don't give a damn about me, why did you come home?
What is it?
Part of your inheritance.
Is it true? Are you really in charge of some UFO project?
No. Absolutely not. Guess I could have changed the combination. I always thought when you were ready, you'd come home. found this at a crash site in New Mexico. What crashed was nothing man-made. Inside this craft were 5 beings. They were not human. 3 of them were dead. The 4th one died under observation in the 5th. Everything I've done since the moment I found this wreckage has been about this, about trying to understand who they are and what they wanted. I was wrong about the crop circle, Sam, but I'm not wrong about this. Something is about to happen. Maybe next week, maybe in 30 years. But these visitors, they're moving towards something.
It's really true, isn't it? Dad, you had no right to hide the truth like that.
You know what would have happened in 1947 if the country had believed we were about to be attacked from outer space?
Oh, I don't know. The growth of the military-industrial complex? Senate hearings to determine if you were or ever had been an alien sympathizer. You know, maybe we would have started to invade countries we already thought to come to the men.
Can't abide a mess.
And what about now? I mean, you've kept this from the world for 23 years, Dad. Don't you think it's time you told the truth?
I've only been frightened once in my adult life. Would you like me to tell you about that time? That 5th one, survivor of the crash that was never accounted for. Tracked him down to a small town in Texas. He had formed a bond there with a young woman. And years later, I went back to that town. The woman was not that young then. She had 2 grown children, and she also had a 10-year-old son, the result of her bond with this stranger. Her older son, Tom, is the one who made that crop circle, Sam. He did it deliberately to destroy me.
Well, I guess he had his reasons.
I got close to the Clarks. I wanted to know more about the younger boy, Jacob. I was bringing him back to the ranch when it happened. A strange boy. He was gentle and he was withdrawn. When I looked in this boy's eyes, Sam, when I saw it, there was all my memories and all my fears. More than that, I saw them add up, do you understand? I saw my own death, Sam. I saw how I would die.
Maybe it was a moment of guilt. You know, maybe what you saw is what you know you deserve.
Well, there's your story, son. Your big scoop of Pulitzer while you're still an undergraduate. And all you have to do is make someone believe you.
Hi. Do you know where I can find some information on the dig site?
Yeah, I do. Who are you?
Oh, Sam Crawford.
Sarah.
How you doing? I'm a journalism student from UC Berkeley.
Dr. Powell? This is Sam Crawford. He's a journalism student.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Is that the carbon dating report?
Yeah.
Well, how old's her body?
Oh, it's about 6 years old, give or take. Yeah, the wrappings of bed sheets. They date back to the early 1960s. My estimate's 1964, but they can't tell for sure. We should have known. There's nothing Chimchin about the burial. They never wrapped their dead. The glyphs on the wall were indecipherable. Not their language at all.
Actually, I was hoping I could talk to you about that. What did you guys make of the writings you found in the burial chamber?
Well, there's no language that we've been able to identify.
Yeah, probably no more real than our mummy. Look, I gotta go find the sheriff. Sam, you're welcome to stick around if you want.
Thanks.
Okay.
I remember my mom telling me that she only went to church once with her mother on Easter Sunday. When the minister said that the kingdom of heaven was within her, that scared her half to death. It meant it was all up to her. People want the comfort of strong arms. They look to the voices in their heads, to drugs. They look to the sky.
Hey. Hey.
I could see you didn't take my advice about getting clean. So I have to say to myself, maybe the man's got some money.
I got these.
What are they?
Yeah, my dad's medals.
What the hell are you doing?
Get a doctor?
Right away.
I want you people packed up and out of here by tomorrow morning.
Sheriff, we've got to be able to come to some sort of compromise. This is a significant archaeological dig.
I don't care. I want you gone. Where's the mummy?
Oh, can I ask you something? Now, you say this mummy might be evidence of a murder, right?
Well, that's generally the case when somebody hides the body, yeah.
Then aren't you supposed to say, don't leave town, instead of get out of town by sunrise?
You find that helps you as you make your way through life? Being a wise ass?
Hey, Dr. Powell?
The mummy was here just a minute ago.
Well, it didn't just get up and walk off by itself, now did it?
Hey, look at this.
Mosquitoes starting early this year, huh, Joyce? You know, I read somewhere that mosquitoes have killed more people in the history of the world. The way they spread disease and all. And all the wars, famines, and floods put together. They tried to do something like that, huh? You know what I like to do for mosquitoes? I like to get garlic and motor oil and rub it all over any part of me that's going to be exposed. I never have any trouble with little bloodsuckers.
Bye, Louise.
Honey, would you put... Wendy? 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 Wendy, Wendy? 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 She knows not to go in the woods. She has been told and she has been told.
Louise, it's gonna be all right. Kids wander off all the time. We find them.
Not in these woods.
They walk among us in many shapes, and their ways are not always what we would hope. So to understand that which is not you, you must become that other thing. My grandmother always used to say, walk a mile in another man's shoes. That is the great secret to shape-shifting. So it's not about the disguise, it's about knowledge.
You guys really gonna leave in the morning?
Yeah, well, we really don't have much of a choice.
It's a good dig, sir. Even without the body, you've done some important work here.
Yeah, we were only just getting started.
Oh, yeah? Made you call.
Not very subtle, are they?
Nah.
You really want to take a look at the writings on the wall, don't you?
Yeah, let's go.
Daryl, you want to join us?
Okay. You sure you want to do this?
Not a virgin if that's what you mean.
I'm not talking about that. I'm saying, you sure you want to wander off into the deep, dark woods when there's something out there?
What happened?
Tana leaves. The curse. He's been revived. He's coming for you, Sarah.
Cut it out. That's not funny.
Dr. Powell, was the Raven considered a trickster or shapeshifter? Well, Daryl, are you looking for a grade here, or do you really want to know? A little bit of both. All right, fair enough. Trickster is both good and bad. He brings man knowledge of the universe as it is. Do you understand that? Okay, so Jack Tales and Loki and Daffy Duck, these are all examples of trickster guys. I mean, what could be trickier than shapeshifting, right?
Oh, right, like when Daffy pretended to be a skunk.
That was Sylvester, and I think paint spilled on his back, but yeah, you get the point.
Oh. You sure that wasn't Daffy? Because the duck, man, he's always getting into something.
I get the feeling that this all means something to you. Stay here and watch your stuff.
Where are they?
Check up here.
You want to get that light out of my face?
Sorry.
These two belong to you?
Yeah. You okay?
She's fine. But if you're going to be so jumpy you scream in the face of every old man you meet, you shouldn't be walking in the woods in the middle of the night, that's all.
Trickster. The trickster.
Dr. Powell?
I was just messing around, man. Hello? Buzz? This isn't funny, man. Hello? Dr. Powell? Dr. Powell?
The safe return of the Apollo 13 astronauts who splashed down in the Pacific near the USS Iwo Jima. The astronauts were immediately flown by helicopter.
How are you feeling today, Frank?
Better. Feeling better.
Miss, I got this itch that really needs scratching.
You slept through the night.
First time.
I know. Thought you might be up for some solid food.
I've got something solid right here.
Looks like Johnson's hungry. Hungry?
No. Do they still have those guys in the park who sell hot dogs?
Uh-huh.
But Sheriff, Daryl's vanished. He's been gone all night.
Is he a citizen of Haysport? No, he's not. So his disappearance is not my problem.
What do you mean it's not your problem?
Who are you?
I'm Sam Crawford. I'm a reporter. I'm here doing a story on the dig.
Not anymore, you're not.
Look, Sheriff, last night there was an old man.
Old man?
Yeah, prowling the woods with a shotgun. Now one of my students has disappeared, and you're telling me that you're not going to do a thing about it?
Tell you what. You file a report, I'll keep my eyes open.
Starting again, Kirby. Isn't it?
When you're a kid, anything can take you away. Soap bubbles, or a hose spraying a rainbow up over a new mowed lawn. I guess growing up means that it gets harder and harder to find your way back to that kind of place where you can be taken. One time I see grown-ups with that same sort of look on their faces. It's when they're first falling in love.
Changed a lot while you were away, huh?
Wasn't really thinking about that. Just thinking about all those bubbles.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah. These kids look really happy.
What happened?
A lot of things.
In the war?
I don't know. I was just the icing on my cake.
Man, lighten up. It's not my war. Jeez, man can't make a damn bubble in the modern world.
Look, it's okay. Frank. Hey, it's okay. You can tell me. Hey, my name's Amelia for God's sake. I was named after somebody who was lost.
Can I ask you to do something for me? Would you call me Jesse instead of Frank? Frank's not my real name. Maybe someday I can explain.
Excuse me, miss. I'm looking for Lieutenant Frank Pierce. Ridley, Personnel Services Office, Records Branch. You're a difficult man to find.
Yeah, I've been sort of preoccupied.
You never picked up your medals. I have a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart.
Keep them.
Excuse me?
Give them to someone who deserves them.
You don't want them?
I don't want them.
Okay. I read the report on this, Lieutenant. What you did, it's a miracle you survived. The temple was on fire. You couldn't get everyone out. I don't know if you blame yourself for the men you couldn't save, if that's what this is all about.
It's about that and a lot of other things. I'm not going to take your medals.
Oh, we'll just add that to the list. The list of things you're going to explain to me someday.
Like it, being a nurse?
When I was in college, I knew everything that was wrong with the world. I wasn't doing one little thing to make it better. What about you? Did you always want to be a soldier?
I always figured I'd be a mechanic like my dad.
What happened?
I'm different in that way. I stopped thinking I could fix things.
You okay, buddy?
Steve! Oh, you little idiot. What were you doing? Why don't you think? You don't think.
Ma'am, I think he's scared enough already.
Thank you.
You okay? Very brave.
No. It's not brave when you know nothing can hurt you.
What do you mean? Someone's watching over you. You got a guardian angel or something?
Something.
Is that what happened in Vietnam, Jesse? You thought you couldn't get hurt?
No. I knew I couldn't get hurt. We were in the Quang Nang province, and we walked into a trap. Knowing what I knew, knowing that I was safe, I should have been able to do more. I was daring them the whole time, saying, go ahead, get me out of this one. And they did. They got me out. And they let 27 men from my unit die.
Who are they, Jesse? Who are you talking about?
Add that to your list.
Okay, guys. The only way to cover enough ground before nightfall is to split up. Any problems, blow your whistles. Keep blowing until the rest of us can get to where you are, all right? Sam's offered to help us look. One more thing. Someone has to stay here just in case Daryl comes back while we're out looking for him.
I will.
Thanks, Sarah. Ricky, you might want to keep this. Let's go, you guys. Be safe. Daryl! Daryl! Daryl, it's Dr. Powell!
Daryl? Daryl?
Hello? Is anybody there? Hello? Daryl? You in there? Hello?
Any word yet? Nobody's been back.
This is deeply creepy.
Yeah, deeply. Look, I better go back out.
You want to take this?
You should keep it.
Take care of the problem.
Yeah. He just got up Powell when I came on him. I shot him twice.
No body?
There was blood all over the ground. I figured he'd crawl away to die.
Well, you figure or you hope?
Come on, Doc. I told you I shot him twice.
You didn't really want to go make sure just in case you were wrong.
What are you looking at, old man? You ain't helping matters creeping around the woods like that. You're damn lucky you're still alive. I need some help. Somebody help me.
Shock. Nothing more. She probably won't remember a thing, Kirby.
Well, let's hope not, huh?
What's going on here, Sheriff?
What paper did you say you work for again?
Well, it's a college newspaper.
Uh-huh. Well, next time an officer of the law makes a suggestion to you, like go away, for example, you should think about listening. If I see you again, I'm going to drive you up into the woods and I'm going to shoot you. Go away.
His eyes. He came through the burial chamber. His eyes. Oh, God. His eyes.
You're all right. When I found you, I thought you might be dead. Then I noticed you were still breathing, so I dragged you in here to keep you out of the elements and such.
Who the hell are you?
My name's Leo. My daughter's name was Nadine. She would have been 40 this year. We got the northern lights up here. But in 1958, there was something in the sky that wasn't any aurora borealis. There were these lights in the sky, dancing, moving in ways you wouldn't believe. Coming down out of the sky and disappearing into the woods. My Nadine went walking in there, trying to see what they were. She came back a day and a half later. No idea where she'd been. No idea what had happened to her. It was about 4 months after that she started to show. The twins were born in early '59. The pregnancy was hard, real hard, and the birth killed her. I was Nadine's only family, so I took the boys. I named them Larry and Lester. Now, they were all wrong, those boys, right from the start. But it wasn't just that. It was how they looked and what they could do. They had a way of peering inside a fella even when they were small.
When I looked in this boy's eyes, Sam, what I saw it was all my memories and all my fears.
After a little while, it got too hard for us to stay in town. Folks just didn't want them around, so we went out into the woods. Stayed in this cabin my father had built for hunting trips.
How much you tell him, Leo?
Well, doesn't really matter. We're gonna take that drive I promised you.
Killed one of the twins, didn't you? You killed him, then you wrapped him up and stuck him in that burial chamber.
Larry. He was the worst of the two. Took to trying out his abilities when he was 16 years old. Leo mentioned that? All the dead dogs and cattle? Things he did to them hunters in the woods. This town makes its living off a hunting season. Close to 10 years, couldn't pay folks to go in our woods.
Hell, Leo wouldn't go near that cabin himself.
My job to keep this town safe for everybody. That boy was a menace. I went up there, tried to talk some sense into him. Anyway, I didn't wrap him up. I buried him under a tree. How we wound up in that burial pit, wrapped up like that. I got some ideas.
Where'd he go? This way.
Can you come with me?
Lester.
the hell is going on?
We're going in after him, Kirby. My daughter's still missing, and we know he's responsible. All right, let's go.
Let's go. Move it out.
Over here. She's hurt bad. Must have tried to climb a tree to see where she was, and she fell. Her legs broke in a couple of places. I sneak up when she's asleep, leave her food and water, but I can't get her into town. I'm afraid she'll look at me.
What happens when people look at you?
I don't know exactly. When my brother and I were kids, we used to just scare folks mostly. I think people look at us. They see too much.
All the memories. All the fears.
I guess you could say.
Why'd you rough your brother up like that?
My brother and I, sometimes we would draw in this weird language. We never knew what it meant, but it looked kind of like in books and stuff about ancient Egypt.
Yes.
I knew it was important. Like maybe magic or something. I thought maybe if I wrapped him up like that, put him somewhere special with that writing all around him.
Maybe he'd come back to life.
Kind of foolish, huh?
No. No, Lester, I don't think that's foolish at all. I think you loved your brother very much.
I never meant to hurt any of those people who dug up the grave. I was just trying to get help for the little girl.
I know.
Maya. Whatever it is I do to people. I guess it got stronger after Larry died. I really never meant for anyone to get hurt.
You're hurt, too. I gotta get you both to a doctor.
Just worry about the little girl.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you the one who's been bringing me food?
No, sweetheart, I'm not.
Is that him over there? I want to say thanks.
His name's Lester, and you can thank him later, okay? Right now, I'm gonna have to pick you up, but it might hurt a little bit, so can you be brave?
We're coming out.
Lester, thank you.
You're welcome.
Did he do this to you?
No, Mommy, I fell out of a tree.
Get her back to the car, Louise. We're going to finish this once and for all.
Why don't you let me take it from here?
Eric. What are you doing here, Eric?
You're not a hard man to follow, Sam. From everything the sheriff and Dr. Schilling have been telling me, you've got something here that's important to the project. Some sort of half-breed or something.
That's why you're here?
I'm here to keep you from doing anything unfortunate. The sheriff tells me you've been less than cooperative with him.
Look, there's nothing here for you.
I think I'd like to see for myself.
Eric, you can't go in there.
You're going to stop me?
You could be killed.
You care about me, Sam, untouched.
He's right, son. You don't want to go in there.
Eric, no. Get your hands off me! Look, I'm not gonna let you take him.
Lester don't want to hurt anybody. You all get out of here before something happens.
Step away from the porch, Leo.
Mommy, are they going to hurt Lester?
We're going to put Lester out of his misery.
I let you people take my boys before, and look where it got me. No, sir. I'm not moving.
Well, suit yourself.
Come on! You want him now, little brother? He's all yours. Lester, you gotta get out of here.
Larry didn't mean to hurt anyone either. They came out with cameras, take pictures of the freaks. Larry just lost his temper.
We gotta go.
What's the point? Where am I gonna go?
We'll figure something out. Come on.
You better get out of here.
Lester, come on.
Grandpa did that, didn't he?
I'm very cute. You're very cute. I'm Mary. I'm Mary.
Go on, Mary. Can you say Grandpa? Can you say Grandpa? You say Grandpa.
She's only a week old.
You can't start indoctrinating them too soon. Come on, Mary. Grandpa. Come on, Grandpa. I wish your brother Sam was here to see this. Say Grandpa.
Julie, could you give Dad and me a minute? I bring my baby over for you to see. You're still talking about Sam.
We haven't heard from him since he left.
We won't be hearing from him anymore. Sam is dead.
What?
You went out trying to find proof that would destroy you, and that proof killed him. He died trying to bring you down. He hated you that much. You never told me any of the things you told Sam. I would never have broken your trust, and you never once gave it to me. Is this what you saw? When you saw your own death? Stroke, right? A massive explosion. Pop goes the brainstem. That's why you always hated me. I scared you. You knew I was the last thing you'd ever see. Kind of funny, isn't it? If you'd been a little kinder, maybe showed a little more interest, this might not have happened. Knowing what you know, that's what brought us here. So, how does it end, Dad? Are you trapped in there? Stuck inside your head a while longer before the lights finally all go out? I always loved you better, you know that.
yourself.
Breakfast in the kitchen. Master bedroom, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Shut the door on your way out.
Eric, I guess I was wrong about you. Good luck and Godspeed. Dad.
If my words did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung, would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it near as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. Don't really care. Let there be songs to fill the air.
Previously on Taken.
My name is Jesse Keys. I have encounters with unidentified flying objects.
Get away from me!
Jesse, what happened?
No! What do you want me
me? Why do you keep taking me?
There was one survivor of the crash. Tracked him down to a small town in Texas. He had formed a bond there with a young woman. Years later, I went back to that town. She had 2 grown children, and she also had a 10-year-old son.
Kids, this is Owen Crawford. Jacob!
This guy broke her heart. My life is not going to be complete until I ruin his.
You know too much about what I do.
Well, Eric, your dad had me get him a car from the motor pool the night your mother was murdered. When he returned it, there were 417 new miles on it. 417 miles is the exact distance round trip between Groom Lake and the spot where Howard and your mother were found. They were both killed with Howard's service pistol. He lost that pistol 2 days before he died. I remember him asking me if I'd seen it. He said he'd left it in his desk drawer and it just disappeared.
She was drinking a lot, threatening to expose his work.
I'm sorry, Eric. I've been carrying it around with me all this time. Now that your father's dead, I thought you should know.
My father was a vicious, selfish man. He put his own personal aggrandizement above the good of his country. In my opinion, his egomania made him a liability to the project. However, he was also incredibly meticulous. He kept files on everything. This one's interesting, Doctor. Your signature on the autopsy reports from the 3 bodies recovered from the Roswell crash, and a 4th, the one who died while he was under observation. 2 copies of the crash site reports, the real one and the cover-up. General, your signature's on both. An interesting one on the disposal of the bodies of twin psychics used in some early research into the nature of the technology. This one's particularly informative. It's a briefing on the Roswell events that you and your colleagues prepared for General Eisenhower just before he took office. On page 2, you'll find a list of the 12 of you who worked on the briefing. Very impressive group. These are copies, of course. The originals are in a safe place.
So what do you want?
Commander. Briefcase, sir.
What's going on here, Eric?
I checked the motor pool records for the night my mother was killed. You did check that car out. That makes you an accomplice, Marty. An accessory before the fact. These men will hand you over to civilian authorities in Carson City. I'm sure your fear of my father will be taken into account.
And you'll be stepping up to take over the project. The acorn doesn't fall too far, does it, Eric?
I need that funding shifted over to biological research, Ted. Find the resources. Why is it so important? None of your damn business, Ted. Ted, do your job or lose it.
Some people spend their lives hoping for something to happen that will change everything. They look for power or love, or the answers to their biggest questions. I think really what they're looking for is another chance. Some way to lead another life where all the mistakes they've made would be erased, and they could just start over. Nothing bad has happened yet, and all their possibilities are still in front of them.
Sorry I'm late. I'm proud of tourists. We ought to put up a gift shop, sell little bobbing alien heads or something.
I had our people take the test subjects out across the desert to avoid them.
I can't run an operation under these conditions. It's a joke. Since I talked the general into letting me run this project, it's become a damn circus.
Yeah, but if you're going to be a damn circus, best to be in the center ring.
What have you got?
Well, what are you doing?
These fell out of the heads of a half a dozen brain tumor patients we've been monitoring for the past couple of years.
Call out and put them away.
No, don't worry, they're dead. They're like batteries. They're just not transmitting. We had to open up a half a dozen people before we got a live one. It's kind of like looking for pearls.
You got a live implant?
Okay, now check this out. This is really amazing. Send in the soldier.
People come home for a lot of reasons. They come home to remember. They come home because they've got no place else to go. They come home when they're beaten. They come home when they're proud. They come home looking for a door out into their past or a road out into their future. They come home for a lot of reasons, but they always come home to say goodbye.
Like you remembered?
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't change much, does it?
There they are.
Hey. Mom's just waking up. I'm glad you guys came. My mom really wanted to get a look at Lisa.
They say that we're lucky because it's taking her so quick. With cancer, it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, honey. How you like this, huh? Lord, they tell me it's the cigarettes, but I don't think I'd live this long without them. You grew up real nice. How you doing?
I'm good, Mom.
I see that. That's fine.
Tom,
Yeah.
come on in.
Mom, this is Carol, my wife.
Hi, Carol. How you doing? Pleasure to meet you.
And this is Lisa.
Tom, come here, take this thing out of my nose so I don't look so scared of that child. Come here, darling. Let me get a look at you.
Come on, honey. It's okay.
Hello, Grandma.
You're a pretty girl. She's got your father's eyes.
Jake, I know who your dad was. The government was doing these experiments. This is all Freedom of Information Act stuff. It was the beginning of the Cold War. And people were scared and willing to do anything, so they took these soldiers, filled them with psychotropic drugs to see what happened. And I believe that your dad was one of those soldiers. When he escaped from the army base at Roswell, Owen Crawford tried to get him back.
It might be a little bit more complicated than that.
But your abilities, well, I think you got them from your father. So whatever the drugs had done to him, like those women who took thalidomide, I think that they're taking civilians now, doing the same experiments, mind control or processing, whatever you want to call it, to make them think that they're being abducted by aliens.
And you know that this is not the case?
Well, the government makes them think that, but it's the cover story, Jake.
For a cover story, it seems a little bit far-fetched, doesn't it?
Mom's in a lot of pain. Morphine doesn't seem to be helping.
It's okay, Mom. It's okay. It's okay. Let's help you up, Mom. Okay.
Jacob, it's time for me to go, honey. Tom.
You just sit up, Mom. You just sit up.
What are you doing, Jake?
Something for Mom. It's all right, Tom. Sally, let's go home. I don't want to believe this, Jake. You never wanted to. You always kind of did, though. Right from when John came and you saw the lights. That's why all those years you tried so hard to prove that it was a conspiracy, a lie. Those are easier things to believe in.
That's kind of ironic, though, don't you think? The country's leading debunker turns out to have a half-alien, half-brother.
What are you going to do now?
I want you to come forward, Jake.
I can't do that, Tom.
We're talking about something that the entire world has a right to know. You were the proof that it happened, Jake.
What do you want me to do? Go on TV? Bend some spoons? Or turn into a freak show in a minute and a half and you know it?
Then at least people would know that it really happened.
Would they?
Why did they come, Jake? What do they want?
I don't know. I do know that I'm not the only one who's special to them. feeling I get sometimes that there is someone else. They're playing catch-up, the government. They're trying to figure out the same things you asked me. Why they came, what they want. Owen Crawford knew about me. If they're not already doing it, they're going to try and find that other person.
Jesse Keys.
One of my father's many failures.
Not to speak ill of the dead, though, right?
He kills this guy's father, then loses him. I'd say all in all, he screwed that one up.
Yeah, he couldn't have known what would happen when they took out Russell Keys' implant, but if it makes you feel better to think that your old man screwed up...
And this one, Jesse?
He mattered to them. He was important. And we grabbed these people, we popped the implants out of their heads, we even killed some of them. Our little gray friends don't do squat. And this guy, I pulled him right through the wall of a bomb shelter to take him away from us. I don't think you can lay that one on your father either.
What do you think it all means?
Maybe nothing. Could be there's some they chew on repeatedly and others they spit out after just one bite. Now that we're looking more into the genetics, we'll figure it out. We're really close.
What about those brothers in Alaska?
Failed attempts at crossbreeding. Well, like that kid, Jacob Clark, your old man tried to bring back from Texas. Jacob Clark dies. And we all know what happened to the furry freak brothers. You see what they're doing, don't you? Everything they can. This is an FBI aging program. If some fugitive goes underground for 10 years, they want to make sure they'll know him if they see him. Alley Diamonds to Donuts, this Jesse Keys is still alive. You want to find out what's so important about him? Maybe we should ask him.
Truck 8.
Yeah.
Chief, we've got one over at Morgan's Junction. Car full of college kids. It's pretty ugly. Paramedics on the scene. We've also got a tractor injury at Sutter's and a kid pulled out of Hodgkins Creek. Paramedics at both.
I'll take the car.
Uniform team, over.
Keep moving, people.
Go.
Keep moving.
What do we got, Bobby? Just kids on the way home from Milton, drunk, lost control of the car, flipped it. Driver was killed instantly. Two boys in the back, pretty banged up. They're on their way to county, and girl in the passenger seat's spinal. We're just getting her out now.
Light. We saw this light in the sky, and then... my friend.
They've been taken to the hospital. Hey, can you do something for me? Can you keep your head straight and follow my pen with your eyes? Good. Now, we're going to have you out of here in just a minute, okay? But can you just keep your head straight and keep your eyes where my pen was? All right, can you do that for me?
Bobby.
I'm sorry, Chief. I'm sorry.
My first accident, I puked all over my chief's shoes. Don't get any ideas. Look, you know what I love about this job? You come to a scene, you look at it, you assess the situation, and your job is to make it better. You can do that, no matter how bad it is. You can always make it better.
Not for that guy who's driving, not for him.
And you move on. That's what it's all about. You find someone you can help. Here. Make sure she stares straight ahead. Don't let her look at the blood on the windshield, okay?
Yes, Chief. believe you're still out here. Look, this is all my fault. The other guys thought you were with me. I thought you got a ride back to the hospital with the sheriff's guys.
How long have I been out here?
2.5, 3 hours. Look, I'm really sorry, Chief. I don't know what else to say.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Charlie.
Do you know that 12 people have gone to the moon?
Some people put a lot of work into their lawn, as if a patch of green grass was the most important thing in the world. As if they thought that as long as the lawn out front was green and mowed and beautiful, it wouldn't matter at all what was going on inside the house.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Hey, let's get this place cleaned up before Mom gets home, okay?
Okay.
Come on. Come in.
Dad said he's gonna come see my play.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, honey.
Can you help me with my costume?
Yeah, sure.
Mom? Is Dad all right?
Yeah, of course he is. What do you mean?
I don't know. It's just... he seems like he's scared of something.
I've known your father a long time. There's one thing I know about him. He's not afraid of anything. Mwah. Bye, kiddo.
Right there, Ace. Hey, I know you. I'm Luke Reynolds. Luke Reynolds, you pulled my son Mo out of our sweep auger last year. So what the hell are you doing out here? Oh, you come to look at my lower field.
Lower field?
My glow-in-the-dark wheat. Come on. Ain't that a bitch?
There was an accident out here today.
Yep, pretty bad one.
Had the field been glowing before the accident?
Nope. Started right after that. It's a shape of it that gets me, though. I mean, look at it. Looks like a damn flying saucer.
This hostage thing just shows you what happens when you let your enemies see your weakness. We should have gone in there the moment they were taken and gotten them back at any cost.
Miss Fox says if we'd done that, they might have killed the hostages.
Maybe, but they would have been less likely to do it again.
Can we talk about something else?
How would you like to move?
Like to Henderson? Someplace a little further outside of town?
No, I was thinking more like Maine.
Don't you think this is a little sudden?
Dad, is this because there's flying saucers in Maine? Because Dylan Peters said that you were the flying saucer soldier and that you were in charge of all of it.
No, I don't think it's too sudden at all.
Do you know the feeling of daring yourself to walk across a dark room? That way you're excited because you really do know, that there's nothing there to hurt you. Some people get to choose their dark rooms. They get to look for places where the fear is only skin deep. But some people are nowhere near that lucky.
For a while after they pulled me out of the temple in Vietnam, they stopped. I'd think about them once in a while, but I'd convince myself that the stuff that had happened with my dad when I was younger and in the jungle had just all been in my mind.
These are the guardian angels you told me about.
Yeah, I don't know if I call them angels, but they were the reason why I did a lot of what I did back there, you know. I did some pretty crazy things just to see if, you know, they would save me.
And they did.
Every single time.
Honey, maybe it is all on your mind. I mean, you're more than due for some post-traumatic stress.
Look at this. You don't see it.
See what?
The rash, shaped like a hand.
We've been through a lot, you and I, yeah? And we're gonna get through this just like all the rest. Jesse, I want you to see someone for me. You owe me that much. Just see someone.
They'll just tell me I have a tumor.
That's not necessarily what they're gonna say.
I was diagnosed with a brain tumor when I was 16. My father died of one.
Okay, then you really do need to see someone.
There is something in my head. It's no tumor, though. It's something they put there. Something that tells them...
For God's sake, Jesse, would you listen to yourself? Look, honey, see someone. If you won't do it for me, do it for Charlie.
You found a small tumor in the front of my brain, no bigger than the tip of a lead pencil.
I talked to Amelia. She told me you've been behaving strangely. The tumor is very small. There's no sign of a fluid buildup, but still it could explain your recent behavior. Dr. Franklin Traub. He's the best brain tumor man in the country. He's at the Rivers Clinic in St. Paul. I just spoke to him. You have an appointment tomorrow.
Thanks.
Any commonality in the stories?
Well, I think the first thing that you want to remember, you and everyone at home, is that these are normal people, just like you and me, with no history of psychosis or schizophrenia, no mental illness. They're normal people talking about something that has really happened to them. The striking thing is how similar all of the stories are.
He always was comfortable in a crowd.
Any minute he's going to start doing card tricks.
I always knew, Jake.
I don't know about the audience.
I always did.
I can't wait for the day when someone such as yourself walks in here and
But I never thought that contactor Mom was building out in the garage was going to get your father's attention.
She needed a better power supply with an impedance-matched output coupling.
From descriptions of over 200 at the 200. It's amazing that 200 people agree on anything.
You can sit around here all afternoon reminiscing or help clean out the garage. Your loudmouth brother's gonna ride both sides of this alien thing all the way to the bank. Kim, Andy, you're done playing. We got work to do.
The people you elect. The government knows about this. No,
Uncle Ronnie, just because you're jealous that Aunt Becky's spending time with my dad is no reason to yell at Kim and Andy. It's not going to make the fact that Uncle Tom's getting a lot of attention go away either.
Bottom line is that if you're of interest to the aliens, you're also of interest to the government. They're going to find you, they're going to take you, they're going to cut you open, and they're going to find
She's your daughter, isn't she?
have been abducted. Mr. Clark, I don't mean to question your ability or your expertise, but I have to point out here that up until very recently, you were one of the leading debunkers of this entire phenomenon. So we'd all like to know what changed your mind.
I have personal information.
You were taken?
No, that's not what I
now,
said.
there's a story that we'd all like to hear.
Well, I'm not at liberty to say.
Hold on, folks. You have evidence of an alien being here on Earth and you're not sharing? Mr. Clark, I find that hardly fair. I think more than anything else, we'd all like to know what changed your mind. We'll take a break.
You're right. That thing in your brain is no tumor. It's very small. It looks metallic. Where did you grow up?
Illinois.
Any exposure to chemicals?
Heroin.
You say your father had a similar tumor?
Yeah, identical.
We see these deposits occasionally in people who work with unusual chemicals, chelated heavy metals, things like that. Sometimes they occur for no obvious reason, and usually they're mistaken for tumors. But in actual fact, it's just foreign matter that's got swept up into a little pile that the body doesn't know how to get rid of. Now, the important thing is, we can treat this without surgery. We can use localized ultrasound therapy, get this thing to break out and dissolve. You'll pass it in a matter of days.
No surgery. That's great.
Must be disconcerting to wake up one morning and your whole world's changed.
Yeah, for me it was more like my whole world had come back.
So this happened before?
Yeah, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, and then again in Vietnam.
Well, if you're prone to this sort of thing, it's not surprising it's going to reoccur.
Could it be affecting Jesse mentally?
It's possible, yes. You've been having problems?
Yeah, but I think that if you can get this thing out of my head, then it'll make them go away. I'll be home for Thanksgiving.
It's gonna be all right, Jesse.
You know, when I was a kid, the time I told you about when I saw my dad, I was locked up in a bomb shelter on an Air Force base. There are people involved in this, too. Very vicious people.
Jesse, you're gonna be all right. This is all gonna go away.
The rest of it, but you have to believe this. I was taken, locked up by some people involved with the Air Force. And they, I got away, joined the Army under a fake name. Now, I don't know if they stopped looking for me, but now that this has all started again, just keep it in mind.
Okay.
Hey. Remember our list of all the things I said I'd explain one day? Aren't you glad I waited as long as I did?
Hey, that's a pretty good book.
Yeah, I don't read much.
Well, living places far too much importance on death in my way of thinking, but at least it makes it funny.
Things good?
Jesse, you don't believe you've got a metallic deposit in your head, do you?
You have your thoughts about what I have in my head, and I have mine.
You want to share your thoughts with me?
No, I'd rather not.
Why are you here if you don't believe I can help you?
No. You have to help me. You say you can make this thing in my head dissolve. That's what I want. I don't even care what it is. I have a 9-year-old son, and I almost hurt him because of this thing in my head. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about anything else at all.
Hello, Dr. Wakeman, please. Traub here, Rivers Clinic. I got the man you're looking for.
Slow down there, kid. Come on, take it. What's the problem?
Let me go! Charles, let him get the belt. You started it. Did not. Did! Everybody knows your dad went crazy when he ran out of the house screaming. Your dad's nuts. Now they've locked him up. That's enough! All of you!
Now, Charlie's dad is sick. It's very serious. He's gone away to get well. We're praying for him.
Sorry. Hope your dad gets better. So we're going down to the Lemke's. I hear they have a wicked haunted house. You want to come?
No more fighting?
Promise.
All right, kiddo. Have a good time.
They're so forgiving, children.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to butt in. I was just out enjoying the evening.
Oh, I'm glad you were here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your husband. I hope he'll be all right.
Thanks. Yes, I'll hold. Hi, honey. How are you?
Lonely. How's Halloween?
It's great. Charlie's Darth Vader. I really just called because I wanted to hear your voice.
When everything in your life is right on track, it's easy to believe that things happen for a reason. It's easy to have faith. But when things start to go wrong, then it's very hard to hold on to that faith. It's hard not to wonder whose reasons these things happen for.
How long are you going to keep him under?
A couple hours. I didn't think we did a full workup. What do you think these marks on his chest are? Looks almost like a hand.
Maybe he fought back.
So, what do you want to do with him? Take that thing out of his head?
No, they're a dime a dozen. I don't want the implant. I want him.
He believes they've saved him repeatedly. In Vietnam, other places.
They probably did. That's just, he's extremely important to them. Okay, what do we know? They're working towards something, but what? Do they want to destroy the planet, to save us from ourselves, to turn us into pod people? Anyway, we look at the stuff we got from one of the bodies from the New Mexico crash, and these beings, these aliens, what have you, they're us. Same genetic makeup. At least so far.
The same could be said about the fruit fly.
Maybe that's the point.
What makes a man who he is? Is it the worst things he's ever done? Or the best things he wants to be? When you find yourself in the middle of your life, and you're nowhere near where you were going, how do you find a way from the person you've become to the one you know you could have been? What did you do with my Cabbage Patch Kids?
They're in one of the boxes, honey.
Can you take them out of the boxes? They don't like being taken places in boxes.
We'll unpack them when we get to our new place.
Why can't I tell my friends where we're going?
Ask your father.
I want my dolls unpacked.
Honey, we can't.
Hello, thrill seekers.
Uncle Chet.
Hey, sweetheart, how you doing?
Good.
Where's your dad?
In the study.
Come on, come on.
Come in.
Dad, Mom won't unpack my Cabbage Patch Kids.
I'll talk to her about it, Mary, after I'm done with my meeting. Don't ever move.
We got Jesse Keys in the clinic in Minnesota. That's the prize your dad could never get.
What do you want to do with him?
I'm thinking.
Well, while you're thinking, make sure you don't lose him. I don't want to make the same mistakes that my father made.
Your old man's been dead, what, 10 years now?
Yes.
So don't you think you can stop trying to kick his ass? One of our researchers was going through some of the old files and came across these. Any idea what they are?
They look like the glitz from that excavation site in Alaska, the one where my brother died.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but these are dated 1947, and that burial chamber in Alaska wasn't opened up until 1970.
Did you translate it?
Can't be done. We're so close. We got Jesse Keys under wraps. And genetics guys are finding out more and more every day. My engineers tell me they're following something very cool on the implants. We're on the verge of a major breakthrough here. Hey, Eric? There's something you're not sharing?
You know everything I know.
I know a hell of a lot more than you do, old pal of mine, but what I was asking was as if there was something you weren't sharing.
And what I told you was no.
What are these?
Tom Clark. You didn't see him on TV the other day? Talking about the government conspiracy to cover up the presence of aliens here on Earth?
I don't like to watch TV during the day. It weirds me out.
Suddenly, he's the Woodward and Bernstein of alien abduction.
Tom Clark, huh?
The Tom Clark who ruined my father? The Tom Clark who thought our entire program was a lie? His first 2 books here do nothing but debunk everything about extraterrestrial life, about visits, about our work. Don't you want to know what changed his mind?
Have a good day.
You're much prettier than I expected. Your surveillance photographs don't do you justice.
Is this visit about something more than my good looks?
I understand that your brother has switched sides, that he's now a believer. Want to tell me what changed his mind? You and your brother have a way of sort of gumming up my family's work, so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not doing this out of any compelling need to tell the truth. I just think it's the only method that'll work. There, I'm doing it already.
Do you look a lot like your mother?
People say I do.
My father was a bastard. What he did to your mother was unforgivable. My father found a spaceship in the New Mexico desert. There were 4 bodies on that ship. There were spaces for 5 bodies. He came to your home looking for the guy who was sitting in that 5th seat. My father devoted the rest of his life to trying to find out what these visitors wanted. He ran a government group dedicated to that quest. Since his death, I've been in charge of that group. Technically, we're part of the Air Force, but the paperwork is so muddled I couldn't even tell you who I worked for. This planet has been visited thousands of times since my father found that ship. People have been taken from their homes. Things have been done to them. With a lot of money and a lot of very good minds, we're beginning to understand some things about our visitors, but we still don't know why they're doing all this. We don't know what they want. My father was a ruthless, ambitious son of a bitch, but the things he wanted to know were reasonable. This could be the greatest threat the world has ever known. This could be something miraculous. We have to know. We have to do whatever it takes to find out. I'm not my father. You don't have to tell me what changed your brother's mind right away. You could do something else instead.
What?
Let me show you something.
I've been reading these reports from your genetics team. This is astounding stuff.
Pretty cool, huh?
Very.
There's something new. These devices they put in people's heads, I told you, we're pretty sure they're a tracking system, right? They are. My guys have found the signal they give off. But the signal is incredibly weak. It needs to be amplified somehow before it can be transmitted back to the mothership or the planet Zeta Reticuli or wherever our little buddies are hanging out. You gotta love it.
Transmitter? Where?
We don't know. But the logical assumption, based on what we do know, is that it's organic.
Organic?
You love it. A brain beaming thought signals out into the cosmos. This just keeps getting better and better. The energy of thought, of mind. We know that's how they do things. We also know that Jesse Keys is of particular importance to them.
You think Jesse Keys is a transmitter? That's why he's so special.
It's one way to find out. Shut them off. See if they come and turn them back on.
So are you going to be getting back to work soon?
There's a couple people starting up here in Texas I want to check out first. You sure are in a hurry to get rid of me.
No, it's not that. Meatloaf's going to be ready in about half an hour. Andy's got arithmetic homework that he has to finish before he watches Charlie's Angels.
Your brother Tom's too high-toned to come to the door now he's been on TV. You gotta go outside to meet him.
You haven't exactly been a prince to him every time he's been over here the last couple times.
Why, is he still pissed I didn't go to your mom's funeral?
I don't know, Ronnie. If you want to know why he's pissed, why don't you ask him?
Why should I go on? There's no love lost between me and your old lady. All right, I'll ask him. I'll tell you when on a cold day in hell is when.
I'll be home late.
So unpack the Cabbage Patch Kids. What's the problem? All right then, Julie, then don't unpack them. I might be late. Don't wait up.
I don't know why I'm doing this.
Curiosity.
Why would I get to play with you of all people?
I could put you in custody.
It's like that.
No, it's not like that at all. I'll have you back by 2 in the morning. Spook's on it.
Oh, he actually said that? Aliens were responsible for teenage drug abuse and open marriages.
And the success of the skateboard. You go up in Vegas and meet a lot of weirdos.
I guess so. My family is eating leftover meatloaf.
My wife's either called the Peking Inn or Pizza Hut. I got married really young. First girl I slept with. First time I slept with her. She's pregnant. I'm married. Anything to show my father I was grown up.
Yeah, I just needed my own identity. Someplace where I wasn't Tom Clark's little sister.
Big brother, Shadow, I hear that. Sun rose and set on my brother Sam.
I guess a lot of people do that. They're just kids trying to get away from home. They wind up smack dab in the middle of their lives before they know what hit them. My kids are great. And I guess everything's got its upside.
Let me put it to you this way. Your brother would be very jealous. We brought everything here from Wright-Patterson in '76. It just made more sense to keep everything under one roof.
Oh, my God.
It's breathtaking, isn't it? I come in here sometimes by myself. I sit and just stare at him. I keep feeling like if I stare just a little longer, I'll be able to understand.
Thank you for showing me this.
I wasn't going to.
People move through their lives sometimes without really thinking about where they're going. The days pile up, and they get sadder and lonelier, without really knowing why they're so sad or how they got so lonely. Then something happens. They meet someone who looks a certain way, or has something in their smile. Maybe that's all that falling in love is. Finding someone who makes you feel a little less alone.
Moving, did I tell you that?
No.
A couple of Air Force sellouts write books, hit the talk show circuit. A couple of guys make movies. Carter says he saw a UFO. Next thing you know, I've got a crowd. You and your brother didn't help.
Where are you gonna go?
I got a spot picked out in Maine. The Gawkers will still come to the desert. They'll see the same experimental planes and think they're seeing the saucers, and we can continue our work undisturbed.
When are you leaving?
Tomorrow night. Becky, come with me. I didn't mean for this to happen. I meant to charm you with my honesty and find out all I could about your brother. But that's not how it worked out. I don't want to be the man that I am, but with you, I'm somebody else. I'm who I want to be.
Eric, we can't.
I want to be with you. What is so terribly wrong about that?
Nothing's wrong with it. It's just not possible.
Of course it is. I'm going to tell Julie about us. Come with me. Leave Ronnie and come with me.
Maine?
The trucks are leaving Grim Lake tomorrow night, sneaking out across the desert to avoid your brother and his friends by the mailbox. What is it?
Your work. And Tom says you've been taking people and experimenting on them. He says some of those people have died.
Becky, I swear to you that your brother's wrong. I have never done anything to harm anyone. Would you leave Ronnie?
Yes.
You're sleeping with him?
It's not as simple as that, Tom.
Oh. Okay. Everything's okay then.
He's leaving his wife, and he wants me to leave Ronnie.
He wants us to stop interfering in his business, Becky. Eric Crawford. Owen Crawford's son. The son of the man who ruined your mother's life. How could you do that?
He's not his father.
He's covering up the biggest secret in American history. He's lying to the entire public on a regular basis. What in the hell makes you think that he's not lying to you? You don't respect anything at all, do you? You're just a selfish little girl who married the wrong guy, and you're willing to walk on anyone's grave you have to get away from him.
This is not about me and Eric. This is about what Owen did to Mom.
No, it's not. Not anymore. It's about blowing the lid on this thing wide open. How could something this huge have happened and the whole world doesn't know about it? That's wrong, Becky. Did you tell him about Jacob?
No.
You don't trust him either.
Well, you're making short work of that book.
Not a lot to do around here, you know. What is it?
Well, your deposits are not disintegrating as quickly as I'd hoped. This is Dr. Patterson from the Brazel Clinic.
Does this look anything like an astronaut's helmet?
Ah, it looks perfect.
I wish Dad was here. He's good at making things like this.
Yeah, he is.
Hello?
Hey, big guy.
Oh, hey, Dad. Mom, it's Dad. Are you going to be able to come to my play?
Well, I'm sure gonna try. How was Halloween?
Alan Holmes called you crazy, so I punched him. And then some guy pulled me off and I was going to punch him again. But he wanted me to go to the Lemke's house because they had a haunted house there. Oh, it was so cool. Can you come to my play?
Yeah, I hope so. Hey, can I talk to Mom for a sec?
Okay, just a sec. It's for you. Hi, honey.
Hey, they're moving me. This thing in my head isn't going away. And, there's a new doctor.
And they're going to take me to some place called the Brazil Clinic and see what they can do for me.
Okay. I love you. Call me when you get there.
I love you too. Okay.
I sure hope Dad's all right. Maybe I shouldn't have told him about how I got into a fight with Alan Holmes. I don't want him to worry about me. Mom? Mom, what's wrong?
It's a big country.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that thing in your head. Once it's gone, no more little gray men.
I'm ready.
That's good.
How'd you, know the little men were gray?
Educated guess?
One small step for mankind. I mean, yeah, man. One giant leap for mankind. The giant leap that Neil Armstrong was talking about was a leap into outer space for him and his Apollo team. They started the journey, but it'll be up to us to continue it. I can't believe you came. Are you all better?
Yeah,
Did you like my play?
I loved it.
It was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Pretty cool.
Dad, what are those lights? Why are we stopping here? Hey, Dad? Dad! What's going on? Dad?
Charlie, come over here.
Dad, what's happening? Dad?
He's not your father, Charlie. Don't listen to him, Charlie.
Charlie, it's me. It's okay.
He isn't me, Charlie. He's making me from the picture in your head.
He's lying.
Charlie, he's not your dad. Watch, I'll change the picture. Remember last month I caught myself shaving? And I came downstairs and I had blood on my chin. Charlie, do you remember?
What's going on?
You're not gonna take it. Leave my boy alone. You're not gonna take him. Charlie, get away from me.
Dad!
Get away from my boy! No!
Truck 17. We've got an engulfment event over at the Pioneer Grain Silo in Arlington. We had 2 men with a grain bridge collapse. First guy went under. His observer tried to...
Hello? Anybody?
It wasn't a stroke or a seizure.
Could this have been caused by the tumor?
I don't know. The nearest I can come to it is like someone held his brain too close to a magnet.
Mom?
Give me a towel, please.
What's happening to him?
They'll come for Charlie next. You gotta go.
I've called for help. We'll see what's taking them. Wait a minute. Who did you call? Help.
Jess.
You've gotta go.
Come on, Charlie. Let's get out of here.
I don't want to be the man that I am. Can you understand that?
What in the hell makes you think that he's not lying to you? Eric Crawford. Owen Crawford's son. The son of the man who ruined your mother's life. How could you do that? Did you tell him about Jacob?
No.
You don't trust him either.
Come with me. Leave Rania and come with me.
You don't respect anything at all, do you? You're just a selfish little girl who married the wrong guy, and you're willing to walk on anyone's grave you have to get away from him.
You live your life step by step, doing what you do. Suddenly you look up and you're this person you didn't plan to be. But with you, I'm somebody else. What is so terribly wrong about that?
Nothing's wrong with it. It's just not possible.
Sometimes people come to a moment where they think they found that one last chance to be someone else, and they go for it. When it doesn't work out, they spend the rest of their lives looking back over their shoulder at what might have been.
Let's go.
How are you going to get through the crowd at the gate?
3 trucks come out, get the crowd's attention, then take off through the desert. When we're sure they're being chased, then the real trucks will leave.
You think it'll work?
We'll see.
You okay? You seem kind of down.
Hard to say goodbye, I guess.
We're doing the right thing. The tourists can still come out and watch the stelts, and we'll all live happily ever after.
Okay.
Oh, man. You went out and got your little heart broken, didn't you?
I never met my grandfather, but my father told me that he was a very brave man. And with all that he'd done, or maybe because of all he'd done, his favorite thing in all the world was to mow the lawn. My dad said he heard his father talking to a neighbor once. The neighbor asked him how he was and what he'd been doing. And my grandfather said, "I've been cutting the grass and watching it grow. Cutting the grass and watching it grow. Life," he said, "is 90% maintenance."
Look around you. The signs are everywhere. You've left it for somebody other than you to be the one to care. You're lost inside your houses. There's no time.
Drinks are here. Honey, we're going to be moving around for a little while.
Kind of like the Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah, kind of like.
Is this because of what happened to Dad?
Oh, there's some people who want to talk to us, and I don't want to talk to them.
They're not people.
It doesn't matter, sweetheart. They're not going to find us again. Hey. Sometimes when bad things are happening, we imagine things. Oh, maybe we think the things we make up can't hurt us as much as the real things that are actually happening. Even if what we make up is scary, too. Does that make any sense?
Is Dad ever going to be all right?
I don't know. I really don't know.
This isn't fair. There's nothing fair about this.
No, there's not. This song got me through my freshman year of college. Just in several plans we need never discuss. Your father always hated this music. Anything that was popular while he was away. You know, it wasn't so much the war as how he was just supposed to come back and act like nothing ever happened. I know none of this makes any sense to you right now. You just have to know that your daddy loves you. Hey, dance with me. Come on, get up. Come on. Let's just dance for a while, okay?
Maybe I'll remember. Maybe I'll remember how rock me on the water. The wind is with me now. So rock me on the water. I'll get down to the sea somehow. Rock me on the water. Rock me down.
In response,